Next up is Ike. I have a lot of strong things to say about Ike. So Ike is from the Fire Emblem series. More specifically, he's from the series called Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. And it is the game that I want to play the most. There's not a single game out there that I want to play more than those two games. Because from what I heard, it is a really good Fire Emblem game. The problem is, there's no legitimate way of getting these games. So a little history about Ike's games. To my knowledge, Ike's games was the first time that Fire Emblem has ever gone 3D. Because up to this point, most of the Fire Emblem games were 2D pixels. And it wasn't until Path of Radiance when Fire Emblem decided to do 3D for the first time. Alright, that'll do. Yeah, so this is their first time doing 3D, and from what I've heard from multiple sources, it is a really good game. Path of Radiance was released on the GameCube, and then its sequel was released on the Wii. So because of that, technically speaking, all I need to do is get myself a Wii, buy both of the games, and I can play them, right? There's an issue. But aside from the fact that obviously they're not being sold anymore because they're old games, they are being sold for an insane amount of money on eBay. I think up to like $500 per game. And there's two reasons as for why they are super expensive. Or rather, two theories I have as for why they're expensive. The first theory is that they're really good games. Like when you ask any Fire Emblem fan what their top 5 favorite Fire Emblem games are, they would often put either Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn or both of them within their top 5. That's how good this game is. So, yeah. Theory number 1, really good game. Theory number 2, and this is the most important part. As of currently, in the modern day, Fire Emblem has become one of Nintendo's staple, iconic franchises, right? Like, pretty much, if you know anything about Nintendo, you know that there's a lot of Fire Emblem games, and they keep releasing and making them, right? But here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. Well, not a lot of people, but people nowadays that don't know is that Fire Emblem used to be... Oh god. That works. Fire Emblem used to be one of Nintendo's weaker franchises. In fact, hold on, let me think about this for a second. I need to think. If we had to compare Fire Emblem to any of Nintendo's franchises, it is less popular than Pikmin. And we're talking about Pikmin during Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2. Even back then, Pikmin was not popular. Fire Emblem was especially not popular. And the reason why I want to mention that is because during what was it? So stores that sell video games, such as GameStops, Best Buy, and etc., when they are unable to sell a game, what they would do is, rather than return it back to the company or hide it in the back to keep it as stock, what they would do is destroy the copies of the games. So you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Because of the fact that Fire Emblem was extremely unpopular, and combine that with the fact that a lot of video game vendors would destroy games that didn't sell at all, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, essentially there's like little to no copies out there. This is so hard to focus. Oh, come on. Sorry for not saying anything, I gotta focus really hard. So yeah. So if we were to combine the fact that there are essentially no copies because freaking game vendors destroy games that are unsold, and the fact that Ike's games are extremely good and popular, it essentially, you know, overinflate the prices, making his games extremely expensive to buy. However, I do want to know that that is entirely my theory on why Ike's games are extremely expensive when it comes to like online sellers such as eBay and such. I'm not 100% sure why it is extremely expensive, but I just want to play his games. I would do literally anything to play his games. What's a filler? Whatever. I'm not kidding when I say this. If Nintendo, I swear, Nintendo, if they re-release Ike's games, they would sell like crazy. Because nowadays, a lot of people are playing Fire Emblem games, right? So if they were to release Ike's games, it would sell like crazy because they would go like, oh, that's the game where Ike is from. I want to play it, right? Just do it, Nintendo. It is a smart move to release this game again. You don't need to remake it. You don't need to do a deluxe or whatever. Just port the game from the GameCube and Wii to the Switch. Done. Easy sale. Luigi. And with this, I will get all of the original 12 characters. Assuming I get them. And the next character is King Dedede. Royal Rumble.
Ready, go!
Are there that many kings? I think they're gonna involve Fire Emblem characters now I think about it. So King Dedede from... Wait, why are we here? King Dedede from the Kirby franchise. He's an interesting character. So, King Dedede. He is Kirby's rival, I think?
Ready,
I'm actually not sure now I think about it. They're not friends, I think. But they're not enemies, I think. No, I'm serious when I say this. It's actually... Well... I'm serious when I say this. It's kind of confusing to understand Kirby's and Dedede's relationship. Because in one game, they're enemies. In another game, they are friends. But in another game, they are rivals. But in another game, I don't know. I genuinely cannot tell their relationship. It's gonna take a bit. He feels so much better compared to how he was in Brawl. But yeah, the relationship between Dedede and Kirby is genuinely confusing because their relationship changes almost every single freaking game. To the point where I don't even know what they are as of currently. The games that I played, which was Superstar Ultra, they were enemies. In Squeak Squad, I don't even remember if he was in that game. But then there's other games such as the Robot one where they were allies? Not friends, but allies. Cool. Alright, so putting their relationship aside, he is... Is he a king? Is he actually a king? The Kirby universe is weird. He might be a king. I just realized how weird Kirby is as a franchise. Because you need to remember that that's the same franchise with there's like a fish, a fish, hamster, an owl, and a ball of slime, I think is slime, that so happens to be friends with a ball of pink whatever, who is probably related to something that looks similar to it, but it has bat wings. Wow. You know what? Don't think about Kirby lore. Never think about Kirby lore. So when it comes to Kirby games, he has appeared in, I think, in every single Kirby game up to date. He appeared in the first game, and he has appeared in multiple Kirby games, either as an enemy, rival, such as, you know, being in a minigame. Sometimes he would be playable. Sometimes he would be mind controlled. Actually, no, not sometimes. That happens a lot, apparently. But if there's a game that he isn't in, then chances are I am not aware of what that game is. In terms of gameplay, he's actually been playable in a lot of Kirby games when I think about it. But he hasn't been playable since the start. What did I say? Oh yeah, he wasn't playable since the beginning of the franchise. But he's been... No, what was it? I'm not thinking straight. So despite being a rival, enemy, whatever of Kirby, he's been playable a lot actually. Like when you compare him to literally any other Nintendo villain, he gets more playtime than anyone else. Compared to... compared to Legend of Zelda enemies, compared to Bowser, compared to... what other villains are there I'm not thinking of? Essentially, he is... what I'm trying to say is he is surprisingly playable in a lot of Kirby games. Hey, first try. Wait, now that I think about it, what the heck is King Dedede? Damn it, don't think about Kirby lore. Don't think about Kirby lore. There's all sorts of weird stuff in that series.
Wow! Incredible! Congratulations!
Is he a penguin? He might be a penguin. I'm actually gonna have to look that up. He's such an anomaly. Chic.
3, 2, 1, go! Game!
And he is still strong. Alright, next up is MetaKnight.
MetaKnight! Ready? Go!
Everything I said when it came to King Dedede kind of also applied to MetaKnight when it comes to like his relationship with Kirby. Sometimes he's a friend, sometimes he is an enemy, a rival, all sorts of stuff. The only difference being, of course, is that he is not... oh dang. Is that he is not a king. In fact, I don't actually know what the heck MetaKnight is in terms of species and what his role is in the Kirby franchise. What I do know is that he was first an enemy in the Kirby franchise only because he wanted the citizens of the Kirby universe to stop being lazy. Which is kind of silly, but very Kirby. Oh, that's a different ball smash. I think about it. What even is MetaKnight? For those who aren't aware, MetaKnight under the mask looks exactly like Kirby, but except, you know, a dark version of Kirby. But the thing is, they're clearly not the same species, they just look alike. I mean, the obvious, you know, it's obvious that they're not the same species because, you know, the bat wings. Once again, Kirby lore is weird. A little difference between King Dedede and MetaKnight is that MetaKnight has been playable in more games compared to Dedede. But at the same time, Dedede has appeared in more games than MetaKnight, I think. No, wait. Is that the case? No, I think they've... It's weird when you think about it because they're like completely different characters, but they have so much in common, both King Dedede and MetaKnight. Okay. You know, I wish I could say more about MetaKnight, but there really isn't much to the characters themselves now I think about it. Like, the universe of Kirby is vast, like super lore heavy, but when it comes to the characters themselves, there's not that much. I'm not trying to say that Kirby characters are one note, but there actually isn't much to say about the characters at all. Alright, you are clearly from Bayonetta. Like Galactic Knight and Dark Meta Knight. I fought all evil. Now it's time to face my evil. And I really, it really felt like playing Kirby again. That took forever. What was I saying again? Oh yeah. Substance. Literally, there's nothing to talk about when it comes to these characters, lore-wise. I can talk about what they are capable of. I can tell you what games they are in, kind of, maybe, sort of. I don't know, I haven't played every single one of them. But when it comes to the complexity of their lore and backstory, non-existent. We still don't know crap about Kirby, even though he's the main character. We don't know crap about King Dedede or MetaKnight because, I don't know. They've been in the series since the beginning and we still don't know that much about them. In fact, we don't even know what King Dedede's kingdom is called, assuming he is a king and not a self-proclaimed one. As for MetaKnight, where the heck did he get his fleet? What is he? And then there's also the question of his species. We don't even know what MetaKnight is right now. People assume that he is related to Kirby's species, but in recent games, we aren't sure about that now. The only similarity that both MetaKnight and Kirby has is that they look alike. But in reality, there's nothing similar about them other than their appearance. Their powers aren't the same, their personalities aren't the same, their origins are most likely not the same. What the heck are you? Man, Kirby lore is weird.
Nice work. Congratulations.
Wait, I just realized, why were we fighting Master Hand and Crazy Hand? Wouldn't Marks be a better fight? Whatever. Snake?
3, 2, 1, go!
I don't know if I should break the walls, but I may need to. Snake is a very heavy character, so sending him upwards is gonna be a little difficult. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I should have broken the walls. I'll do it next time. So is Ganondorf. Alright, let's get this over with. Next character is Zelda.
Ready? Go!
Alright, Zelda from The Legend of Zelda. The character that is the second most important character in the entire franchise, with number one being, of course, Link. Which is weird when you consider the fact that the title is literally called The Legend of Zelda. So, Zelda. Her role in the Legend of Zelda series is similar to Peach, aka she is a damsel in distress. So you're not going to be seeing her for most of the game. However, unlike Peach, where she is completely useless most of the time, Zelda does play a crucial role in some of the Legend of Zelda games. Usually, she would team up with Link to do something about the main villain. I'm not gonna go into detail because, well, I don't play any of their games, so I don't know the exact details. Similar to Link, she has multiple incarnations of herself throughout the timeline. And that is also reflected in Smash Bros. As well. Similar to how Link had multiple versions of himself throughout the Smash Bros. Franchise, Zelda went through a grand total of 3 different forms. The first one, when she was introduced in Melee, she was in her Ocarina of Time outfit. In Brawl and Smash 4, she was in her... Oh, hold up. She was in her Twilight Princess outfit. And in this game, I am not 100% sure on what outfit or version of Zelda this is. I think it's either Link Between Worlds or Link to the Past. I have to remember the name for a second. And honestly, it is, in my opinion, the cutest version of Zelda. It is my favorite.
Ready? Go!
Oh, good. He's so cute. What else is there? Oh yeah, a weird thing about Zelda. But once again, going back to the title, The Legend of Zelda, despite not being entirely focused on Zelda, there are a couple of games where she's not even in it, I believe. Yeah, I think there were... Actually, no, her role in the series, depending on the game you're playing, she doesn't play that much of a role. I'm trying to remember, what games was she not present in it? Now I remember, Majora's Mask. That's a game that she was not in at all. Was she in the Oracle Seasons games? I don't recall. It doesn't take place in Hyrule, so I would assume she's not. And then there are some games where she barely appears at all. For example, the first game, where you don't see her until the very end of the game. The reason why I'm so fixated on her not being in the series that much is because, well, the title is literally called The Legend of Zelda. In fact, I think there's only a grand total of 2 games that I can think of where she is actively involved in the story. Ah, teleporting is so nice. It makes this fight much easier. The 2 games would be Ocarina of Time, because she plays a role in both the past and future. The other one would be Wind Waker, because she helped Link at some point. Well, I said at some point, but really early into the story. And what other game was she present in? Oh yeah, Breath of the Wild. I don't recall her being kidnapped, but then again, I haven't played the game. And I guess Skyward Sword. Does she get kidnapped in that one? Ah, this was a really good run. .9. Yes.
Wow! Incredible! Congratulations!
Lucas. That means I gotta play on this crappy map again.
Go!
And that was my fault.